All right, I'm back with another testimonial interview with Oliver. How's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Where are you based at in the city, man?
I'm in Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn? Very cool, very cool. And when did you start the product and program?
So I started in April 2023.
April 2023.
Yep.
And well, that was a brutal time right there. Why did you decide to make a transition into product management in April 2023?
So the truth is, I had been trying since 2022 to make a transition for myself. And I was part of other kind of like training programs and boot camps. And, they're all great for really teaching you. But I think what was really good about Product Gym is that they one of the reasons why I signed up is the community, and just having that community, but also the focus on landing you a position and a job. And it doesn't matter how much I know, if I can't get a job, there's no point to it. So, you know, I basically signed up for Product Gym for that reason. And I felt like, it was delivered, right? Like, what I paid for in a couple of months, that was paid back, and now I have this membership that I'm in a community that I can have like forever. So I thought it was a great ROI personally.
How long was your job hunt?
So for me, like April 2023, like you said before, it was a crazy time. There were layoffs. I feel like that was like the height of the job market going a little crazy for tech. I was looking from April to December. Well, I started my position in December. I accepted in November, right? Um, but yeah, I don't know how many months is that? Like a couple, like 6, 7 months, roughly.
Got it. Got it. How many positions did you apply to?
So again, because the market was so bad, I had to apply to about like 3,000-ish positions, and I have a tracker for that. I did use the assistant from Product Gym to help support that. But for me, thinking like a product manager was something I learned through this whole process, and optimizing my time. For me personally, since I could afford it, I figured doing literally everything else other than applying was my focus, and I just started to take interviews as they came. So the applications kept going out. I just continued to refine my resume, make connections in community, both within and outside of Product Gym. Um, you know, Build that structure and network, and yeah, get to know people more so I can get more opportunities.
Well, what did you find to be the most difficult part of the job hunt? I mean,
So, like I said, I came in knowing a good bit of product knowledge, right? But even beyond that, it's the mental game
mhm.
of not giving up despite you wanting to, and just all those rejections. You got to get to a point where the rejection is just like, all right, cool, rejection, moving on to the next thing. And like focusing on what you have to get done and your goal of getting a position, right? Rather than getting upset that, you're getting all these rejections, because nothing's going to change unless you start to put the work in and change. I think that's the biggest thing. The other thing too, like Rich, it was called out. I think Cody was speaking to me. He's like, not this position, this program is not for everybody, right? Like it really is for people who are going to put the work in. And I feel like that was even more true during my time. I definitely had moments of doubt of just like, I don't know if this is for me, but I remember there was a conscious thought of, at one point I just doubled down. I'm like, I'm either going to get this position, or I mean, like, I don't have any other option. I'm going to get a product position. This is what I want to do. And that's when things started to change. I started to think more like a product manager, optimize your resume, treat it like a product, treat the journey like like your go-to-market strategy and whatnot. And that's when I started to see results. Slowly but surely, I started to see results.
Got it. So, having said that, you applied to 3,000 positions. Um, I mean, was the reward worth it financially?
Absolutely.
What was the pay bump like for you, man?
So and I want to preface this, after arguing for 3 years in an old position to from my salary to go from 52 to 65, right? 3 years of me fighting with that HR team, my manager, everything. I was able to increase my salary from 65,000 at my old position to 110 now. Plus I have a bonus and whatnot. So for me, it's still a little low for a product manager, but for me, that's life changing personally. Like that's allowing me to now pay off all my debt, start to think about other things that I can do on the side, not have to worry about like every other week, am I going to have money and like, this type of stuff. So for me, it was life changing personally. Plus, I really like what I do. So it's not just, the pay increase. I love what I do as a product manager. So that's huge.
Well, you went from 65 to 110.
Yeah. Almost doubled my salary. Yep.
Woo! Oh man, which skills did you find, like you had a little bit of product knowledge, like which
Yeah.
skills did you find to be the most useful in actually making this transition work?
Thinking strategically. I mean, all of it was useful, right? I feel like the way that the program is set up is to get you into the mindset of a product manager before you get the position, right? But I think, and it's serving me in my current position where, things have changed pretty rapidly and I'm helping build up the product framework from the ground up for this company, but thinking strategically is what will get you noticed in a position. Not just like doing things because, oh, this is on the roadmap. No, we might need to change things. And this is why being very strategic about it and making the right decisions, and being able to back up that, I think that's what makes a big difference.
Man, man, yeah, that's freaking, I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, you got one of the hardest grinds that like I've ever seen because I feel with so many people, 3,000 positions, because I feel like with so many people, they're so selective with like the number of positions that they apply to, and they try to go ahead and find a way to shortcut the process, or like, is there like an AI scraper tool or like, but I think that there is something when you go all in and like you leave nothing left on the table, there is just something about God or the universe just reward, like, all right.
Yeah, yeah. No,
You
I mean,
deserve.
I was thinking about this earlier, and I think what it is it's not just, you know, it's not just you have to convince yourself you are a product manager before you can convince anybody else that you are one. And if people in the program or you're interested in the program, you all have the capability of doing this, but you have to make that decision and invest. And then also go and find the positions based off of that, right? Like otherwise, if you don't believe it, nobody else is going to, and that's going to show up in your interviews, right? So I think that's the biggest thing is there was a I felt it, fundamental mindset shift. I was like, I'm going to put the work in and I'm going to get this. But that's what it takes.
I have no doubt in the next program that you take here that you're gonna absolutely crush it.
Yeah, absolutely. We got more things coming, right?
I could absolutely feel it because you're right. It's honestly speaking, it's really like a mindset of just going all in, doubling down. Sunday myself too, I recorded 26 YouTube videos in one day. Um,
Yep.
I hear so many people asking me about like, is it like, no, there's no secret sauce. It's just for whatever reason, when you're dumping out that amount of volume, it's like Newton's like third law, right? Like every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Like when you're
Yep.
throwing that much against the wall, like it just all comes back.
Yep. It does. I mean, it might be all at once, it might be slowly, but eventually it'll come back. It's just like you said.
Oh man, dude, I'm so proud of what you did, man. Really am. Really,
Thank you,
really
man.
did.
Appreciate it.
No, you did the heavy lifting. There's a lot of people that are not willing to play this game. at the rate that is really required. So like that was all you. We kind of laid out the yellow brick road for you, but you had to actually like go through that. So excited to see. I mean, and are you happy? Like compared to what you were doing before, right? Like, are you happier now doing what it is that you're doing?
You know what? What's crazy? I'm doing very similar to what I was doing before. Like I was doing product work. They just didn't give me the title. Um, but I'm happier about the salary that I deserve and being able to get that and not having to fight internal teams to prove my worth. You know what I mean? That's huge. So what I'm doing is very similar. I love what I do. Um, but it's just nice to be recognized and valued for in the way that I should be valued. That's what I say is the best part of it.
Dude, 100%. All right, man. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. Before I let you go, would you recommend the Product Gym program to other people?
Absolutely. I think as long as you're willing to put the work in, you know, you should do it.
100%. All right. I'll catch you later, man.
All right. Thank you.